And good afternoon and welcome. My name's Paul Grogan, and this afternoon I'm going to be doing a 3-player playthrough of Burncycle, which is the new game from Chip Theory Games, which is on Kickstarter right now. If you're in the chat and you can hear me and you can see me okay, please let me know if everything is working fine. Mark is placing box of After 8. Excellent. Right, okay. So this is on Kickstarter right now. It is Burncycle. What you're going to see today is you're going to see a playthrough using Tabletop Simulator, because I don't actually have a physical copy. A physical copy was on the way to me, but Ricky Royal managed to, sneak into the post office and get it. So he's got the physical copy of the game. We're going to be using Tabletop Simulator today. Everything that you see here is a prototype, both the artwork and also the game is still in development. So, most of what you see here is pretty much what the game's going to be, but the game is still being tweaked and added to. Everything is working, says Cliff. Brilliant. Okay, so the first person I'm going to say hello to today is Shannon from Chip Theory Games.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. Now, how much of the game is finished? Because I've just told people what they're seeing here is not the finished version, but how close is what we're seeing today close to the finished version of the game, apart from the artwork?
Apart from the artwork, it is close, but there's a lot of small tweaks that we're looking at making. So just to try and balance things, player count, difficulty, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to just give us a very quick introduction of what Burncycle is then, the elevator pitch?
Absolutely. So Burncycle is a 1 to 4 player cooperative game. It's an infiltration stealth game. The theme is that we are playing a squad of robots. In this world, humans invented robots, humans went extinct. Robots brought back humans, and then humans were kind of jerks and subjugated the robots. They built these giant corporations. So the game comes with 3 corporations. The one we're playing through today is Need Chain. And our mission is to get to the 3rd floor of this building and get into the CEO's office to sort of overcome the programming to set all the robots free.
Right. There we go. So yeah, quick introduction of the game. Now, you said you play over 3 floors. We're probably just going to do 1 floor today. Is that right? Or will we get 2 done?
We'll see how it goes with timing. If we get floor 1 done quickly, we can jump into floor 2.
Yeah.
Floor 2 is very similar to floor 1, just a higher difficulty level.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And the 3rd player that's joining us today is a good friend of mine, Mr. Scott Morris.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Now, you are, I believe, the membership number 001 of the Chip Theory Games fan club.
I think so. I don't know. I've known the original kind of founding fathers, so to speak, Josh and Adam, for a very, very long time, and I've been a very big fan of theirs. I love their very first game, Hoplomachus. I have absolutely unbelievably adored Too Many Bones. It is without a doubt my number 1 game of all time personally. And I have thoroughly gotten my butt stomped in Cloudspire several times. So I am looking forward to this being a cooperative game and only being able to hinder you guys and not lose myself.
Right. Okay. So without any further ado, Shannon is going to handle most of the teach today. I'm going into this mostly cold. I don't know that much about it, so I'll be asking some stupid questions along the way. Right. Over to you, Shannon.
All right. The first thing I did just want to point out, you were talking about how the art is prototype.
Yes.
I have thrown off to the side over here a couple examples of where we're going with the room art. You can see it's a lot more detailed, a lot better than what we're playing with today.
Yeah.
It's not quite finalized enough for us to use it in the game, but I did want people to see it so that they have a feel of where we're going with the art.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Right. But for today, we're using these prototype ones here. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we are playing a squad of robots. In this game, we all play our own robot, but then we have an extra robot on our team always. That's called our control module.
It's so cute.
I know. He's my favorite. Transmitter here is basically carrying all the information we need in order to overrun the program. So he's kind of useless. We have to use our actions to get him through this. But if we have to get him to the CEO's office, if we lose him at any point, we lose the game.
Right.
All right. The other way that we would lose the game, we're going to have a threat meter over here, and that's going to be steadily creeping up. If it ever hits 26, then we have lost the game as well.
Right.
And as that goes up, there are going to be different bad things happening to us. So it behooves us to keep our threat as low as we possibly can.
Right. And this says need chain at the top. So this is scenario specific. It's not the same every time.
Exactly. So Need Chain is sort of a fulfillment corporation.
Okay.
So you can see we've got like warehouses and storage here. Different corporations are going to have different rooms. They're going to have different threat meter. They even have different objectives. So there's a lot of replayability within corporations, but switching out a corporation also switches out a lot about the game.
Yeah. Okay.
On floor 1 and floor 2, our objective, our mission is to complete an objective that we've drawn. And then once we've completed our objective, we need to get ourselves to the safe zones.
Okay.
Those are the elevators that are going to let us go up a floor.
Yep.
We actually can end a floor early without all of us on the elevators, but anyone who we leave behind is literally left behind.
Right. Okay.
Their bots would be out for the rest of the game.
Right.
And that's another use for the control module. If ever you lose your bot, you can just take over the control module.
Okay.
All right.
As you say, if you lose the control module, the scenario is lost anyway. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So how are we doing this? We are going to be working our way through this building. We're going to start on the outside, anywhere out here. And depending on what our objective, we need to get into the building and accomplish that.
So where are these objectives then? Was that these 2 cards over here?
Exactly. So it is draw 2, pick 1. So I have drawn us 2, and we can choose one. Maybe we'll do that after the teach.
Yeah, but we're going to ask. I'll ask the
something.
chat. So here we go. We're going to ask the chat.
Perfect.
Which of these 2 missions do you want us to do? Do you want us to compromise Need Chain security, or do a DDoS attack? Okay, so we'll leave it up to you to decide. But yeah, we're gonna jump on with the rest of it now, and we'll come back to that in a minute.
I like that. So in this game, you are going to be taking actions on your turn. The number of actions you can take is dependent on how many chips are over here in what we call the burn cycle, the namesake for the game.
Okay.
All right. If this is our burn cycle, for example, you can take up to 3 actions on your turn. You take an action, is move the bead, and then do any action. And then you can move it down, any action. Move it down, any action.
Right.
But the chip that it is gives you a bonus if you perform the action that matches it. So it's not a programming game. You can do whatever you want, but it's an action sequencing game. If you do your actions in an order that matches the burn cycle, you're going to be more efficient and get more done. All right. So the physical actions are, the first one is movement. That's a big one. And you're going to see beside us, we all have these action dice.
Yeah.
So the yellow ones are basic. The orange ones are advanced. We do have some red elite ones that no one has yet, but we can get there. The differences between them is just sort of their success rate. The basic ones have a couple blanks on them, more ones, and then once you get up to the orange ones, you're guaranteed at least 1. You could get a 2 or even a 3.
Right. I mean, I noticed that Scott's got 4 of these yellow ones and 3 orange ones. That's because of these little counters here?
Yes, exactly.
So I have just got 8 normal ones.
8 normal ones, yep.
Okay.
And those were choices I made for you, and we'll get to that.
But normally you can customize your character at the start of the game.
Exactly. Everyone just starts with like 10 power, and you can spend it at the start of the game. I just did some spending for you already.
Because we wouldn't have the faintest idea what to spend it on.
Exactly. So when you take an action, most of the actions are going to use your dice. And for most of the actions, you can just choose however many dice you want to roll for that action. For a movement, every success that you get, every action point you get is a movement. So if I'm this character and I'm trying to get to here so that I can open the door that's in front of me, I have to choose how many dice I want to roll to get there. I can roll 2 yellows, but that doesn't guarantee me 2 movement. If I rolled 2 orange, I'm definitely guaranteed 2 movement, but I might roll more, and I'm using good dice. So there's a lot of resource management kind of luck mitigation,
Yep.
those types of things. Now, the other thing about movement is you can split your movement with transmitter here. All of us can use movement to move transmitter.
Okay.
And you can even split it. So say I really needed that 2 movement and I did want to roll the 2 orange. And I rolled 3.
3.
I only need to move 2. I can use that last movement.
Oh,
on
because it's not
transmitter.
wasted. Right, okay.
Exactly. The other thing with the action dice is the blanks. If you roll a blank, it's not exhausted. Any other success you roll is exhausted, even if you didn't use it.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Blanks aren't exhausted unless you can add 2 blanks together to make 1 action point, and then you'd exhaust them if you did that.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So lots of ways to mitigate those dice rolls. And that's movement. Now, the bonus that you get if you take a movement action on the physical is you get +2 AP.
Right.
And you can even take +2 AP on 0. So you could, if the first thing I did was move, I might actually roll no dice because I get 2 free movement just from taking that action on the physical.
Okay.
All right. The next action's not going to come up too often, so I'll just mention it and then I'll remind you guys if it comes up again. It's called Engage. It lets you defeat guards, punch through walls, and poke guards to make them follow you if they're not going to. It costs 10 AP to punch through a wall or defeat a guard. So
Okay.
it's your brute force option. It's sort of your Hail Mary. It doesn't happen a whole lot. But again, if you do that on the physical, you get +2 AP, so you could actually just need 8 AP to make that happen.
Right. Okay. Yep.
All right. The next one that I want to talk about is the utility action. So there's only one utility action, and that's keypads. We have all these doors in this facility. They're locked down tight, and we need to unlock them to go through them. So when you take a keypad action, you're going to look at one of these keypad cards here. It costs 2 AP, you can see on the back, to draw a keypad card. So roll any amount of dice, and you've got to roll at least a 2.
Okay. Yep.
If you roll a 2, then you draw a keypad card and flip it. And you're going to look at the tier based on the floor that we're on. So we're on floor 1 right now. We're going to look at that first column, and this one would require a movement in order to get through that. Now, the bonus on the utility is you can bypass any one icon on the card.
Oh,
so
okay.
just by taking this action with utility, I get a free pass on this card.
On level 1, yep.
Right? If I hadn't taken it on utility, then I need to get a movement icon out of somewhere. We're going to have basically a burn cycle, I call it the reserve, off to the side of our burn cycle. We can use these chips to swap into our burn cycle, but we can also spend them to get through keypads.
Okay.
So I could discard this in order to get through that door.
Right.
And then the other thing you can do is, say you have a movement on your burn cycle below where you're standing, where your action is on the burn cycle, you can jump down to that in order to meet that that icon. Now the downside there is you've just skipped over 2 actions.
Yes.
So
Shannon, when you were saying that you can discard the chips, is that discarding from the game permanently, or is it just discarding for this round in this burn cycle setup?
Burn cycle. At the end of every round, we have the opportunity to reset our burn cycle, reboot our burn cycle, to get a whole new complement of chips. But the downside to that is your threat's going to go up by 1 for every bot in our party. So it goes up by 4 every time we reset the burn cycle in this game.
Well, it sounds like we can do it at least 7 times in this game, so that seems fair.
Yeah, threat sneaks up on you, I tell you. All right, so if you successfully open a door, then you're just going to take one of these green pegs over here, throw it over the red to indicate it's open. And anytime you use a keypad action, you get a free move into the room if you'd like.
Right.
Now, we don't know what's in rooms until we either surveil them or walk into them. And that's what these surveillance dice represent, these room dice. Anytime you walk into a room with one of those, you have to roll it. There are 2 sides that have this crate symbol on it. If your room has a spot for a crate, then you would load that up. Crates basically contain equipment dice that you can equip on yourself if you open them, and you open those with a keypad action. The other thing on these, there are 2 guard symbols, so we would load a guard up in this room. That's not a great thing. This side gives you an unlocked crate if you have a crate in the room. So you wouldn't have to use a keypad. We would just throw an equipment die on top of that and you could go pick it up. But the downside of this side is your terminal goes away. And we'll talk about terminals in a minute. And then the last side of this is turning your terminal into a super terminal, which we'll also talk about in just a second.
Okay. I mean, we can go into the room more in detail once we get in there.
100%. Yep.
I have a very weird question given Bite's abilities and everything, but she has the cloaking ability, and it says, or sorry, not the cloaking ability, the silent entry ability. And it says, when entering a room, treat the space adjacent to the door like a hidden space until you move off of it. So when you're talking about taking your free action to move into the room where you are right now, that would be the space that would be considered hidden for Bite, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then does she still roll the die to set up the room, even though she's hidden, or does that happen on the following turn?
You would still roll the die because you can still see what's happening in that room.
Cool.
Just hidden has to do with whether or not guards can see you or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do we start then?
We can start anywhere, I think.
2 more actions I just want to tell you about. So that you know all the things you can at least do. Those are the tech actions. So there's 2 different tech actions. The first one is the terminal access action. You have to be standing on a terminal in order to take that action. Basically, the way it works is you just flip over one of these cards and do what it says. I'll grab a different one. So most terminal accesses have a security check. You have to do that first. And all the options on here are generally AP checks. You're going to have to choose how many dice you want to roll them, get the result. If you pass the security check, you can choose any other option on the card and carry that out as well. And if you're successful, then it's usually a really good thing happening for you or the team.
Right. And the gold, presumably on that card, can only be used if the terminal was gold?
No, you can use, you can choose either.
Okay.
And then the bonus for doing that on the tech action is that you can bypass the security check altogether.
Right. Okay. Nice.
All right. If you do access this on the super terminal, then not only do you get to bypass the security check, even if you're not doing it on a tech action, but you can take as many of the actions on the card as you'd like.
Okay.
All right. Terminal accesses are one-time use, though. The chips go away once you've used them, so use them wisely.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last action is wireless access. This is what is going to let you interact with the network over here. You have to do a security check in order to access the wireless, but you can do it anywhere on the board except for in a safe zone. So it's a really good option if you're trying to wait out a guard or there's nothing else you can really do on your turn. You can always just come over to the network and take some actions over here. It requires 2 action dice, so you just discard any 2 action dice. Flip it over, do whatever it says, and then get on the network. The way the network works is we're all represented by one of these pegs, which are IP addresses.
Okay.
The first time you move, you're going to move around clockwise on the outer ring.
Okay.
So if I accessed this on the tech, I'm green, so I would move in and stop on the first tech symbol I come across. And then if I took another action over here on the network, you basically move until you come across a node that matches the symbol you took the action on, or you hit an access point, and that's where you're going to stop. When you hit an access point, that's where you get to do good things on the network. You can either decrease your threat by 1. This is one of the few ways to decrease your threat. You can increase your signal strength by 1, which we'll talk about in a minute, or you can transfer one of the other IPs. So if one of you is standing on one of these transfer points with the white lines, I could transfer you in a one ring on the network.
Right. Okay.
All right. Now, while we're working our way around and in, the network is going to be putting pings that are going to be working their way around and out.
Nice.
So at the end of every round, if they have pings on the network, they're going to move to, and if they reach an access point, they roll this die, which is very similar to what ours can do. So this side is going to increase threat by 1. This side is going to increase their signal strength by 1. And then the third side is going to transfer their pings out by 1 ring. All right.
And Shannon, when you said that, like, you had your token on the tech chip on the burn cycle, and you said you were going to access the wireless network, and you just discard 2 dice, and then you move down again. Do you discard another 2 dice if you take it on the next chip's action as well, right?
No. To access the wireless, you have to discard dice and then draw cards, but then you can take as many actions as you want on the network once you're on there.
Oh, great. Okay.
And that's just free. So if I did wireless access up here, I could move myself 4 times on the network this turn.
Right.
Does that reset if you take a different action other than interacting with the network?
It does, yes. If you move back into the physical world, then you would have to redo the wireless access card in order to get back on the network.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you don't want to split those up. Basically, on the network, what you're trying to do aside from get these access points is come across these pings. If you get to a spot where you would move over them, you actually just stop before them. You compare signal strength. What you want is for your signal strength to be higher than theirs. If that happens, you boot them off the network, and you gain a power, but your signal strength goes down. If you don't beat them, then they boot you off the network, and their signal strength goes down.
Okay. And if it's a tie?
If it's a tie, then they win.
Right. Okay.
And then the same thing. And then the same thing in reverse if they come across you on the network.
Right.
Now there's 2 things, 2 like end game things on the network. If you ever get yourself all the way into the core here, that gets you 5 power. So that's a lot of power. If they ever get to a point where they've reached outside of yours and then get a transfer out into your home base, then they boot you from the network for the rest of the game.
Right.
So you really don't want to let that happen.
Okay.
All right. And
Shannon,
that's
when you're talking about power, what do you mean by power?
Fantastic. That is the next big thing we need to talk about. So if you let's all look at Byte's card here. So power is your main resource in the game and is represented by this AP dice pool of pegs. Right now, Byte has 4 power. Power is a few different things. It's your health. When you come across guards and they hit you, they're going to remove your power. And if you get down to 0, that's when you become disabled. The second thing that power is it's informing how many basic action dice you're rolling on your turn. So as you spend power or lose power, you're actually decreasing your dice pool of those basic action dice. And then the third thing it acts as is sort of XP. You can spend power to invest in other things. So actually Byte here started off with 10 power, and I spent some of it on upgrading to these advanced dice. So it costs 2 power to get an advanced die.
So that was 6. Yeah.
Yep. So you can see the total there was 10.
Oh yeah, so 6 spent and 4 left here.
And 4 left, exactly.
Right, okay. But if you were to spend all of that, you wouldn't have any AP dice left.
Right. You actually, you can't / wouldn't want to spend down to 0.
Okay.
But there's a little bit of like, how risky do you want to be? You can spend to get some really cool powers, but you're also spending your health basically.
So just having a look at mine, how have I spent my 2 power then?
So where you spent your 2 power is actually over here on the command module. You were very nice to us. You spent 2 power to unlock a 4th slot on our burn cycle.
Right.
So now
Okay.
we're all getting 4 actions instead of 3.
Right.
All right. And then if we look at my card, up here on access, I spent 3 power on my prime skill. So I've unlocked myself a special ability. And you can unlock these in any order that you want, but they cost 3, 4, and 5.
And that relates to the 3 skills on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the physical game, this is going to be a neoprene mat, and then this is a card that slides in underneath it so that you can have, you know, right now 12 different bots in the game, and we only need to provide 5 of these mats.
Yes.
And then I've also bought an advanced die as well.
Right. Okay. So when we get more power, we can spend that later on.
Exactly. There's a few more things you can spend power on. There are some special abilities on our command module. We have to spend our power on that, but the abilities benefit all of us.
Right.
Is there a point in the game where we can spend power? Like when we get it, is that when we can spend it? Or is it like shifting between floors or when you're on a safe zone or something like that?
Right now it's at the start or end of your turn where you can spend power.
Oh, okay. So pretty flexible.
Very flexible. And the other thing about power is if you look at your card, that top number is your sort of soft power cap. Everyone has a total cap of 10. But if you start your turn above this number, then you have to spend down until you don't exceed it.
Okay.
All right. And that's why I spent more on bite than I did on processor. Bite had to go down to 5. Processor was allowed to stay at 8.
So when you're saying spend down, so if I have a soft cap of 5 and I start with, let's say, 8, I'm not discarding that 3 power. If I wanted at the beginning of my turn to use my 3 power to like unlock my prime skill, I could do that, but I have to do it at that point or I lose it.
Exactly. I mean, you'd never lose it because you would just spend it. I can't think of any situation
just give it away, right? You get a power and you get a power.
Yeah. So that's how power works. There's a couple more power spends. We can kind of talk about them as they come up.
Yeah.
But for now, I think we can just jump in. Now, the last thing I need to tell you about your characters is these icons here. Right now, we all have the top 2 unlocked. You can spend power to unlock more, but that's your contribution to the burn cycle. So those are the chips that we're going to be putting in our bag.
Okay.
And then any of these symbols that we're standing on are also going to contribute to our burn cycle bag.
Right. Because somebody said in the chat earlier on, if I start on one of those spaces, that adds an extra chip into the bag.
Exactly. And right now we have a burn cycle of 4 and a possible reserve of 4. So we probably want to start on at least a couple of those because otherwise we're going to be shorted on our reserve.
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't you want an extra chip in the bag?
You would want to
probability.
You would. Right. Okay.
Yeah. The reason why you might not start on one of those symbols is just because it's going to cost you time and movement to get to a door.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think I'll start here. So that's going to add one of the green circuit things in.
All right. Now, actually, we should pick our objective before we choose where we start, because that
what
might
did the
change
chat? What did the chat say? I'm just going to scroll back to when the chat was saying DDoS, 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 DDoS.
Sounds like we're doing DDoS.
I think DDoS was easier for everybody to type than the other one, so we're doing this one. So we have to access 3 terminals without resetting your burn cycle.
Yeah.
So more symbols is a good thing.
Exactly. It's going to give us more time between our burn cycle reset.
Right. Okay.
And accessing terminals is going to come from the tech action.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So our building does have 3 entrances here. We've got the lobby, which is the easiest one. We also have security and an entrance over here. The downside of those is those are near guards. And we'll talk about guards on maybe their first move.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it out there, but I think it might be risky or anything. But is it good to, for example, have Byte start here, and then we put Transistor on the tech symbol here, since he's kind of going to be extra movement and stuff that we're doing? Maybe it doesn't need to be as close at the beginning.
It's a decent idea. I think if one of us one of us starts over here and can kind of make their way into here, and then the rest of us can try and funnel through the lobby, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So you are all already starting on a symbol.
Yep.
So maybe I'll just wait. One of us has.
You're just gonna stroll on up to the front door.
Yeah, straight in the lobby.
Pay no attention to me. I'm just a bot.
So we all do have our own special abilities, which we shouldn't forget about.
In addition to the ones that are not still locked.
Yes.
That's the lower left is the ability we have.
Oh yeah.
Once
Once per
sort of
turn, gain
innate
the
ability.
matching action bonus no matter what.
And if I understand Bite's ability, it says anytime you're rolling AP dice, change the result of one rolled die to match the result of another rolled die. So if I were to roll a yellow and an orange and I get a 2 on the orange, I can change the yellow to a 2.
Exactly.
Got it.
The only limit on that is that the die has to actually have the face in order to change it.
Sure.
So if you rolled a 3 on your orange, you can't change a yellow.
Can't change yellow to 3. Yeah.
Sure. And is it only the AP dice I can change, or is it just I have to roll AP dice and then I can change any die I want?
You have to match the results. So I can't.
But I guess that's what I'm saying. Like if I roll a yellow and 2 oranges, can I change one of the oranges to the other's face? So if I roll this, I could change the orange to a 3 and have 6 AP.
Yeah, they're all AP dice.
Oh, okay. I thought the yellow ones were AP dice.
None of them are actually AP dice. They're action dice. Is just an outdated term.
Got it. Okay, no worries.
Which we're gonna come across a few times in here because the prototype.
No worries. It's all good.
All right. So my action has to do with accessing terminal, or my special ability has to do with accessing terminals. That's fantastic. And then the skill I bought lets me use locked out chips in the burn cycle for those keypad actions. So opening doors is going to be a little easier for me as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's get going. We can start me as the first player, perhaps, because I did throw myself in front of a door.
So what starts in the bag then? Which?
Oh, yes. Sorry, we do need to build our bag.
We need to build the bag.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm contributing a tech and a utility. Processor.
So it's just the first 2 icons at the top, is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Processor, I believe you've got 2 tech and
I do.
Bite. What do you have?
I have a physical and I have a utility.
Physical and utility.
And then we've got the icons that we're standing on.
Yep, so I see a utility for Bite and 2 techs.
2 techs. Yep. Okay, so they go into this bag.
Yep. We shuffle her up.
We shuffle the bag. And then we're drawing 4 because we've upgraded transmitter.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what we've got. And
Transmitter reminds me a lot of BD1. I think that's awesome.
And then we can make our reserve. We get to choose 4 of these 5 chips. Probably want to go with a nice balance.
I was going to say, 2 and 2 seems good.
And that's our reserve.
So why did we lose one? Is the reserve the same size as our burn cycle?
It is number of bots.
Number of bots, right.
So there's 3 of us plus transistor. Yep.
So I'm just thinking, so we've lost a chip there. Does that mean there was any reason for me starting here? I could have started here?
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't specifically want a bunch of tech, it maybe didn't make sense for everybody to start on symbols.
Okay, so maybe we can start transmitter here then.
Sure.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, because if we were going to lose the chip anyway, there's no benefit to...
Makes sense.
You're right. Now, like, I know the game well, but my strategy is not that on game, so things like that, I just, like, I'm going to miss.
Right, so you're taking the first turn, and do you take all of your actions, or is it one at a time?
One at a time. So I'm gonna move the burn cycle bead to the first action I want to take. We got really lucky, and our first on top is utility, which is what I need for opening this door.
Nice.
So that's fantastic. I need to roll 2 AP in order to access the keypad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do.
You can choose to roll however many you want to.
Exactly. So if I roll an orange and 2 yellows, I'm guaranteed. Because worst case, I'll roll 2 blanks, which also I can turn into 1 AP.
Yeah.
So let's see what I get. All right. I rolled a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a waste, but we made sure we got it. And I'll draw a keypad. Okay, that is a tough one. So 2 utilities there. We can bypass one of them because I'm doing it on the utility action.
Yep.
We don't have any more utilities in our burn cycle, so in order to get that, I'm going to have to discard out of our reserve.
Right. Okay.
All right. That door is now unlocked.
Yep.
I can move into it, and
Free
then we'll
movement.
see what's in here.
We roll the dice.
It's a guard.
Let's go. Okay.
All right. So we'll just draw a random guard. His facing is dictated by the icon under him.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. So this guard has a movement of 2. Now, room guards only move if there's actually something or someone for them to move towards. And he has an awareness of 6. That is high. 6 means he can see 6 hexes in a straight line and 6 spaces in a straight line in front of him. I've been playing Cloud Spire for too long. And half of that awareness in any other direction that you can count from him. So if I count from him 1, 2, 3, he can see me in the doorway.
It's a way of representing a circle, sort of. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So whenever a guard sees you, you have to put your awareness token in play. So you're going to put that where he sees me. And threat goes up by 1 every time your awareness token comes on the board.
Right.
All right. So if I were to not move again, this guard has 2 movement, is going to get beside me, and is going to force me to lose a power.
He's going to hug you.
If I can get out of his awareness, so if I were to get...
I think it's right by the lobby door, right?
Yeah,
that one on the right.
Over here, then he'll still see
I think he will, right?
He'll see me when he moves, but he won't be able to get to me.
Right.
It's not actually that big of a deal. If your sight tokens, if your awareness tokens are already in play, it's not that big of a deal if a guard sees you, as long as they can't get to you. So that's a really important thing in this game. If I keep moving around and this awareness token moves around, that doesn't increase our threat. If I leave it there and the guard gets to it and doesn't see me, then it's going to go away. And then when it comes back into play, threat's going to go back up.
That would be it. So it's every time it's added onto the board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once you've been seen, it's almost like good to keep stringing them along up to a point. Okay, so we need to do terminals, but I can't actually. So I can get to this terminal, and this I space means that it's a hidden space. So the way those work is as long as the guard doesn't see you, can't see that space, and doesn't see you entering that space, you'd be hidden. Actually, that's within his awareness because it's 3.
Is that because it's behind the potted plant?
Yes.
Right, okay.
But he's going to see me. He's not going to see me here. So he won't be able to see me go into that hiding space, if that makes sense. That's kind of going to be my goal. I have 3 dice left, so I'm just going to roll them all. I have to move down, and let's move down to the physical. So skipping an action to get that bonus movement. Rolling my 3 dice, which I got a 2 on, +2 for taking it on the physical. So I move 1, 2, 3, 4, and this gets left here, which is the last space the guard saw me.
Right.
All right, and now I'm hidden, so he can't see me.
Okay.
All right, and that is my turn. I mean, technically, I could take a tech action to like.
Because you've got 1 dice left, haven't you?
Oh, you're right. I do have 1 die left. Thank you. I don't want to do a terminal access. There's little chance I'd be able to succeed at that. And I don't want to waste the terminal.
Right.
And I need to spend 2 action dice to do a wireless. So why don't I just spend that for transmitter's movement? So I'll do another movement. And I got a blank.
So
my turn's over.
Okay.
Now, just like, if you had 1 more chip on the burn cycle, because that was blank, you would still have that die, and you could move down and try and do another move and another roll with that. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Is it me next?
And then remembering that at the start or end of your turn is also when you have the opportunity to spend power if you'd like to.
Yep.
Whatever
Are you
you
going to
guys do not think that my intelligent questions are actually going to translate to good strategy in this game.
Yeah, we're just here to see you.
I'm here for my good looks.
Yeah. So are you spending any power then, Shannon, or are you done?
No, I think I'm going to keep it at 5 for now.
So if it's my go next, if we're going clockwise around the table, so I move on to here. Now remind me, that action, you used that to go through the lock. Is there anything else that action can be used for?
There's nothing else that it gives you a bonus for.
No. You can take any action.
I can take any action.
Right.
Here's what I'm thinking. Skip that action, do the movement here, because then I get +2 movement.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking, but why wouldn't I do it? Why would I move on here?
Well, if you move there, you have to roll dice to move, and you have the option of rolling blanks possibly, so you end up losing the die or wasting the action, so to speak. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's the downside of jumping down is you're skipping 2 actions. You're only going to get 2 actions on your turn if you skip.
Right. Okay. Now I have a special ability. Once per turn, gain the matching action bonus no matter what type of action you are using.
Yes.
So I can choose that I'm going to get the movement bonus for this first action.
Absolutely, that's a great idea.
So I'm going to do that. So what's my plan
this guy's
now?
played a game or two.
What should I be doing? I should be moving in and trying to put the hamster in the wheel.
Ideally, you want to avoid the guard.
Right.
Like I said, you can try and disable the guard, but it takes 10 AP, and that's
okay. Yeah.
that's
so
a
it's
pretty tough ask on
it's
your
more
dice.
about sneaking around. But we know that this guard is going to move. Where's it going to move? It's going to move to here.
Yep. So it'll be our choice whether he moves here or here.
Okay.
We'll probably want him to move here just because it's more out of the way.
Yeah, and then if I end up here, it won't see me. Or here.
So if you end up here, he's going to see you.
Oh no, it will see me.
He'll see you as you enter the building. And then when you move away, you'll just leave your sight token there.
Right, okay.
When he gets here, he won't see you here. You'll be too far away.
Yeah. I mean, I can't do anything. You know, he's going to see me enter the room. There's not much we can do about that.
No, I mean, you could bust through a wall, but again, that costs 10 AP. So
yeah. I'm just thinking, what should I be looking at doing? Is there anything other than me just moving this turn?
If you can move and open this door.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or move
go to the restroom.
This door and go to this terminal, because terminals are ultimately what we're going for our objective.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you guys can get to terminals quickly, that would be helpful.
Okay. Now, opening a door, that is the utility action, which is the shield, isn't it?
Correct.
So, yeah, I'd end up having to try and open the door, try and do the utility action on one of these other things, which isn't going to get me the bonus.
Right.
But it might be worth trying it. Okay, so let's have a look.
You could do if you are just trying to get here and open the door, what I would do if I were you, not to alpha game it, is skip down to the physical for the +2 AP, and then use your special ability on this to turn that into a utility.
You're right, because they're the only 2 actions that I actually want to do this turn.
Yep.
So, okay, so we'll skip that action, use this action, roll me dice. So I am going to get 2, I need 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're going to need to save enough for 2 AP in order to open that keypad.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to roll these.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the 2 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's seen me. 5, 6. I've got 1 movement left, which I can use to move transmitter. So
and then he can see you where you are right now.
Yeah.
And that increases our threat. Now, when we hit 4, that's when something's gonna happen. So
yeah,
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Okay, so that was that action. Then I select this action, but I'm going to use my special ability to make that a utility action.
Yep.
And I have to roll, don't I? Yeah, and I need 2.
And you do get that.
Oh, I get me
back.
blank back. Yes. There we go. Right. So let's see what we get. Oh yeah.
More
Yeah.
than enough.
Easily. So I draw a card.
All right. Yep.
And it's this, and then because I've chosen that is the utility action, I automatically bypass it, I believe.
And then you get a free move into the room.
Where's the little green pegs?
Just off to the side here.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
I'll just mark both of those.
Okay, and then my free move is there. Now, does my visible token stay there?
It does.
Yeah.
If he could see, basically, if he can see the doorway itself, if that was within his awareness, he'd see you walk into that room, but his awareness ends here, so he doesn't.
Right. Okay.
He's going to get here and then be like, where'd he go?
Where'd he go? He's gone somewhere.
He's this really smart guard.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm rolling the room die.
Ooh, super terminal.
Super terminal.
So that flips over.
That's super.
Okay.
All right, and that's your turn.
That is my turn done. Yes.
All right.
Interesting.
So I think with where I'm standing, it makes sense to take the utility action and unlock the door. Yes. I need to roll at least 2 AP on any dice, and as long as I'm rolling dice, I can change one to match that of another. So I am gonna only roll 2.
Yep, that
hope
makes sense.
that I
as long
don't
as you don't get
blank it.
Yeah, 2 blanks would be bad.
There you go. All right, so that's more than enough. So now I draw the keypad card, right?
You got it.
And I get to bypass 1 because I'm on the same action as the utility. But then what is the no symbol?
That would be a door jam.
Oh, no.
I'd recommend you bypass that one because that means basically you can't open this door unless you brute force it, which is...
Oh, you have the option of which one. I thought it was from top to bottom you had to choose.
No, you choose which one you bypass.
Okay, so I can bypass the door jam and then we can discard one of the tech chips from our excess, one of the utility chips. Is that right?
You got it.
Awesome.
All right.
I'll figure this out sooner or later.
Open. The move in is optional.
And if I move in, the guard can see me because they have a visibility of 4, and I'm obviously right next to it there at 1.
The visibility on this one's 2.
Oh, sorry, I've got it backwards.
So half to 1, he's still going to see you there.
See me there. Okay.
Now, a couple things I'll point out. You do have a safe zone here. The entrance to that, I know it's a little hard to see, is actually off the hallway.
Okay.
So if you, worst case, if you duck into this room, the guard can't get to you there.
And if I'm somehow able to also get to the control room and unlock that door and get in there, it would be the same situation that Paul had of the awareness token would stay outside the door and then I would be in that new.
Actually, well, if you were to scoot around here, the last place he's going to see you is actually this spot here.
Okay. Even if I were to somehow stop right here, that would. Okay.
Right now he can see here, here, and here.
Okay. Cool. Well, then let's get risky. I'll take that free move action, and move in. So, where's my awareness token?
I'll do the threat.
On your board.
Is it on my board? Ah, there it is. Yes. Okay. Couldn't see it there. Kind of tiny.
Okay.
Are those actual tiny chips in the game?
They were originally. I think they're going to end up being full-size chips.
Got it. Cool. All right, so then next action, I can go down and I could do a tech action, but there's obviously no tech action. But if I wanted to, I could just skip that and go to the move action.
Yep.
So I'm going to do that and go to the move action. So I'll get 2 AP to move. I'm going to put the dice that I've used over on the left side of my board. So I'm going to use actually 2 orange dice on this because I can use any number of dice I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use 2 orange dice to roll for my move. 2 plus 2 is 4 though. So I could go 1, 2, I could do 1, 2, 3 and duck in there if I wanted to because there's no locked door there. Or I could do 1, 2, 3, 4 and come up here.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that. And then that leaves this here. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you think you're going to get into that room?
I think I can. Yeah, I think I have a shot.
Oh yeah, you've got lots of dice left. You should be good.
Yeah, I think I got a shot. That's why I was only going to use the 2 for that. I was hoping to get a little more, but that's okay. I got just enough for that. So, all right. So then, as the last action, I'll take the utility action to unlock the door. So I don't have any bonuses. So yay, that's super fun. But I will roll all of my remaining dice and see what we get.
Just
3.
Yeah.
Door unlocked.
Height. And then the new card is.
Ooh.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So the door is unlocked, but I'm not able to bypass anything because I'm not on a utility chip in the burn cycle. So what happens now?
This card's just going to stay in that spot.
Okay.
Right.
You could take another action later to try and open it.
Okay. But that's
so
the
the door.
keypad for that.
Yeah, the door is not technically unlocked yet.
Correct.
What is the move action there? That's just saying you have to use a physical chip to be able to bypass it, right?
Right.
Got it. Okay. Close. I almost had a good first turn. I had a good
Okay, so we've all taken our turns, and now it's the guards' turn. So we need to look at
Oh.
their.
Just real quick, when I did my move action, I had 4 total move or 5 total move. I think I moved 4. So could I have moved transistor in 1 if I wanted to?
Yes.
Do we want to do that? Is that a good thing or a bad thing if the
Well,
guard?
that
sees
will trigger
be more threat.
the activity tracking.
Yeah. So right now, I think that's a bad
Okay.
thing for 2 reasons. Because transmitter standing here is going to get hit by the guard,
Yeah.
Right.
and also at the end of every round, pings on the network move, and this threat is going to add pings to
Yeah.
our network.
Oh yeah, he pings 3 times. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Well, just hang out, transmitter. Just
Yeah,
enjoy,
just
the,
stay
enjoy the
outside.
view from the lobby.
One thing I did forget is that we all have imperative cards. I told you I was going to forget it, and then I immediately did. We all have imperative cards, which are supposed to be limiting something about us. If you,
Okay.
once it happens, you get the power that's listed on it.
Right.
So mine says the next time you move into a guard's awareness range, you must end your current action. And that actually did take place on my turn because I moved into that room and that put me into its awareness. So I'm going to discard that and grab a power.
It's interesting. So it's not like a special ability that you get. It's like a negative ability that you have to use at a certain point.
Yes, you either have to use it or you have to wait it out long enough to get another imperative.
Okay.
So
You can only have 1 at a time, so they'll discard if you draw another one.
And how do you draw another one?
Sorry?
How do you draw another one?
Generally, the threat meter has points where it'll tell you to draw
Okay.
more imperatives.
Okay. That's fine.
my imperative is a little confusing. Can you explain
Yes.
mine?
Yes, so the CAM's terminal option cannot be selected by your team until you enter an unsurveilled room. So some of the terminal accesses have the CAM's action, which is surveillance. Now you have not yet entered an unsurveilled room, but as soon as you enter this room, that'll be complete.
And what defines what room is surveilled or unsurveilled? That's the ones that have the cameras on the kind of the outer edge of the icons of the board there. Is that right?
Yeah. So
Like the lobby has that little like dome camera on the player or the map board for it. That means that's a surveilled room.
So yeah, that an unsurveilled room is simply just the ones that have
The dice.
dice in them.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been seen yet. Now, a CAM's card in terminal often is going to let you surveil a room that no one's in to pre-roll the dice.
Gotcha.
You can only take that action on the rooms that have that camera on it.
So, for example, the lobby is surveilled, but the control room is not surveilled. So, okay.
Correct. Yep.
Cool. Words matter.
And then Paul, is yours. What's yours doing?
The next 2 that I roll is ignored.
All right, so we'll just use that on your next turn.
I'll just keep that.
I don't think he
turn.
rolled the 2 on his turn. Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect. All right, we didn't cheat. Go us.
I think I might have done, but never mind. We'll take it that it's coming from now on.
Yeah,
Every
it's
first game is an asterisk game.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt you at some point. All right, so now we have to deal with guard movement. guards, we can choose to move them in any order that we want. A guard that's in a room and nothing else is in there, no awareness, no that guard is just going to stay still.
Mm-hmm.
Guards in rooms that can see something are going to move towards what they can see. So he's going to move 1, and then we can move him here, here, or here.
Yeah.
Our choice. Perhaps we want to throw him there.
I think there's good.
All right, perfect. So my token is going to stay because I'm still within his awareness. And then we look at these guards over here. So this guard, when they're in the hallway, they are following their route. And that's what the arrows on the bottom are indicating. So this is a perimeter guard. He's literally going to walk around the right-hand perimeter of the entire building until he runs into something that stops him.
Right.
That would be what he would do if there weren't any sight tokens or bots that he can see. There is a sight token, an awareness token, so his priority is to move towards that.
What buffoon did that?
Once he gets there, he can't see anything else. He clears that, and then he just continues on his way. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
But now he can see you again.
Now you can see me.
He can see you again. That is going to pop back up on the board, and he actually is adjacent to you, so he's going to hit you for 1 power.
He's going to hug me so tight I lose 1 power. I just remove a peg from my AP dice, right?
Exactly. We gain a threat, and now our threat meter says at 4, the CEO pings the network 3 times.
I told you I wasn't going to help in this game.
Where do the other pings go?
They're just going to pile on top of the CEO's chip until the core is clear for them to come on the board.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Continuing to move our guards. The bulldog over here, he's stationary. He's got 8 awareness.
Oh,
so
but he's got the
comes
dots.
within his awareness, he's going to start moving towards it. But otherwise, he just stands still.
Right.
So that's our guard movement. And then our network is going to take its turn because we do have pings on it now.
Mm-hmm.
So every ping moves 2 on the network.
Oof.
All right.
Why is it 2? Is it just always 2?
It's always 2.
Always 2.
Okay.
Or they'll stop on the access points just like we would.
Yeah.
And then the last thing in a round is dealing with our burn cycle. So we have to lock out the bottom chip on our burn cycle.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point where we could choose to reboot it.
But if we do, we fail our objective?
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't fail our objective. We would just have to start again. It's saying we have to access 3 without an interrupt of a burn cycle reboot.
Okay,
we could reset it and just do it on the next burn.
We haven't accessed any yet, have we?
No. But it's not a good time to reboot our burn cycle because we've still got a decent amount. We still got a decent amount to work with here.
Okay, right.
We're down to 3 actions. If we leave it as is, we can always swap this chip out either now, or we can even do it on our turns in between actions.
And we swap it out for one of them in our reserve.
For something in the reserve, exactly. That's the second use for those.
Right.
I mean, you can swap anything out for something in the reserves. So if there was a utility out there you really wanted in your cycle, you could like swap an active chip out for
When
it.
you say swap, it is a swap, is it? So that would go there.
No,
and that would...
no, it would be discard.
Okay, it's not right. Okay, I was going to say because otherwise that would be awesome.
All right, so that is that's a round. So we go round 2. I stay first player because that only passes when we reboot the burn cycle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, even though we just locked that chip out at the bottom of the burn cycle, we still have the same order, but we only have those 2 tech chips in our reserve.
Right.
Okay.
And we only have 3 actions now?
Yes.
Right.
So I am going to access the terminal. And my special ability says after I've done the security check, I get the bottom action on any terminal card for free, and then I can pay for any others I want. That's fantastic.
That's cheating.
I know.
In a good way.
So terminal access, I'm going to think I'm going to do it without attack action. So I'm just going to do it on that utility. We'll flip it over here. Oh, no security check. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. So the bottom option I can do for free. Select a room to surveil and roll its room dice. That's great.
And that surveillance is different than the cams option that's on my imperative, right?
Let me just take a quick look through this deck and see, because I think actually that is the cams and he just renamed it.
Yeah, cams and surveillance sounds thematically like they're the same thing.
Yep, they're the same thing. So is your card saying no one can't be selected by your team? So I can't do that. That's fine.
Sorry. But does that mean? Oh no, because we still haven't. I get the 2 power when we enter an unsurveilled room. Is that right?
When you enter this room, you get the 2 power.
When I enter, not when someone on the team does. Got it.
Correct. So I can choose one of the other 2 options. So comms, I can cut the transmission for 3 AP, ignore threat increases until the burn cycle is reset. Or we can optimize, unfreeze an action slot, or select a free action token and add it to your token pool.
Which one's a free action token then?
Just anything that's in our supply. So I can add a chip to our pool.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we've already got our threat up. Like all of our tokens are on the board. It's probably not going to go up a whole lot more before a burn cycle reset. So I'm going to go for the code optimization.
Okay.
So I need to roll 3 AP.
Did you do the surveillance then?
No, I can't do it because Scott's imperative's preventing us from surveilling.
Oh, so it's not just his. Ah, right. Okay, it's by your team.
The team can't do it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Until you
imperatively
enter an unsurveilled. Oh, and you've not entered the room. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yep. I see.
All right. I'm going to roll these 4 dice here.
Yogi Bear telling me to punch through the wall. I don't need to punch through the wall. I'm in the restroom. I'm going to close the door behind me.
So I got the 3, which is what we needed.
Okay.
So what did it say? I can flip back over this tech.
Unfreeze an action slot or select a free action token and add it to your token pool.
I think adding to our token pool is at least as good as unfreezing that slot. So I'm going to do that. And I know Scott over here might need a physical, so I'm going to throw that in the pool.
There you go.
All right, so that's my terminal. So we've got one of our 3 for our objective.
Okay. Do we mark that somehow?
You know what? I'm just going to throw the terminal card, the terminal chip over there on our objective.
Oh, physics.
Okay, so I could do. I really would like to get out of this room.
So that was your first action, right? Okay.
That was my first action, but I have 4 dice left. My ability lets me use locked slots for the burn cycle. That guy can't see me. I think I'm gonna try and move down to this. So I'm gonna.
I love that these are very hard decisions, and we're only on round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The action selection system is pretty unique. I've not seen anything like this before.
I'm really enjoying teaching this game. It's got depth without the complexity of some of our other games, which I really like. So I'm gonna try and roll 2 dice for movement, and I'm hoping for a 2, but
there you go.
I got a 3. Woohoo!
You got 3 movement. So
okay, so I can move there. I could move transmitter in.
He would be seen though.
He'd be seen. I think it's still wise that we keep him out. And once we've got like a door open where we can just run him down a hallway, we can look at it.
Make a mad dash.
All right, so my last action is going to be a keypad action. So I need to get 2 AP on 2 dice in order to open that door.
1.5.
So I still have a die left, but I've got no actions left. That's fine. I'm good.
You're all done. Right. Okay.
Yep.
So The plan for me this turn is to access this terminal here.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good plan.
So I first need to move. Then I'll be accessing the terminal, which is that this action? The circuit, the green circuit?
No, it's the blue.
That's the blue.
That's where your ability is going to come in handy, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do...
Sorry, no, I blanked on that. It's the green.
It's the green one. Yeah, okay. The shield is the opening doors, isn't it? Okay.
I was thinking you were still trying to open a door. Yeah,
no. So I'm going to use my special ability to make this...
So sorry, I will... because it's a super terminal, the bonus on green doesn't matter because the super terminal is already giving you that bonus.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So just so we're clear.
But I'm going to use my special ability to count this as a movement token.
Good plan. I like that.
So I've already got 2, so I don't need to roll any dice?
Exactly.
Okay, so I don't roll any dice. I've got 2 free movement points. I'll move onto here. Right, my next action is going to be to do the terminal. So remind me again how this works. I draw the card first.
Yep. And
then that tells me, right, no security systems, so that's good. Right. And now I can do any of these if I spend the action points.
Exactly, and because it's a super terminal, you can do more than one if you'd like. And you can
so normally you can only do 1?
Yes.
But because it's a super terminal, I can do any of these. Right, which of these do we want to do?
The access room lights is pretty cool.
Well, there's no guards.
I like the network idea too because there's 3 pings that are creeping closer to that red lightning bolt.
Boot all active CEO pings to the core node. Don't gain the atomic symbol. Okay, yeah, that
would
does seem quite
back
nice.
To the center,
right?
Yeah, but they'd then just come out again, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yes. I mean, it would save us a turn of them.
Saves us a turn.
The guards getting a 0 awareness seems pretty good too.
Well, there's no guards in this room though.
Oh, is it only in that room?
No, it's just guards in rooms.
Oh, guards in rooms.
So everybody.
Put this guy down to 0, which would mean...
Oh, because they're in hallways, so they're not going to, like, the Walker and the Bulldog are not going to have the effect of that.
I think this hamster, I think we're going to be safe from, because I'm intending to just move massive amounts after this, and I don't think he's going to get to any of us. So I think I'll just do the middle one.
Okay.
So I need to get 2 AP, and I don't get any bonus on this. I just have to roll some dice.
Correct.
Now the 2 is ignored.
Yep.
But I've still got a 2.
But you still got it. Perfect.
And I gain a power.
Awesome.
So that power goes in there.
Yep.
And
I actually... we need to remember that when your power goes up, your dice pool goes up. I could have rolled an extra die on my turn, and I didn't.
Right. So I get another dice.
You don't get one right now, but on your next turn, when you build your dice pool, after you spend power, you build your dice pool based on what you've got going on here.
I've put it in the exhausted pool for now. So, so I draw a mod card.
Yes, draw a mod card.
Where are the mod cards? Mod.
They are right here.
Okay. What have we got?
Okay. So mods, there's equipment and mod cards. They both go in your equipment slots. You can hold up to 2. Mods have requirements. You're going to have to spend a power and have a text symbol on your card, which you do. So you could spend a power and then you would have this and be able to use it. The other option with mods is you can discard it for the power on the bottom.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. I'm going to keep that.
All right. Fantastic.
I'm not sure what it is. So that goes whereabouts?
Yeah, just the bottom under one of those.
Down at the bottom.
Slots. Yeah. It might not.
Yeah. There you go. So that cost me the 1 power.
Yes.
Okay, so that dice that I did take, I'll put back. I spent a power, and I can do it because I've got that icon up there. Right.
Correct.
Gotcha. So let's just look at it. If you are not within awareness range of any guard, you may hide on your current space. Flip your bot to its disabled side to indicate this. Flip back over at the start of your next turn. Right. Okay.
That's awesome.
Now that terminal has been accessed, so that card is done. And that token goes on there. So we've done 2 of them.
We've done 2.
And then that's that action done. Then I'm going to move and I'm just going to roll all the rest of my dice.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to add 2 to this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So where does this awareness token go? Because he could still see me here, couldn't he?
He can still see you here, in fact.
Oh, because it's half of... You want to... Yeah,
side,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but it didn't get added to the board, so the threat doesn't go up.
Correct.
Is he going to be able to hit me from there? No, because he'll go
Nope,
1, 2.
You can only move 2.
1, 2. Awesome. I think... I mean, I could also hide on my current space. If I am not within awareness range of any guard, I can hide on my current space. So let's do it just for a laugh. There you go. I'm now hidden.
All right. Great.
I've turned into a trash can.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so on my go here, the door is still technically locked. So
Yes.
I have to use the utility action to unlock it. I'm going to roll and get 2 AP, but I know what the symbols are I'm going to have to deal with.
So because the card's already drawn, you don't have to do the 2 AP. You can just try and open the door.
Okay, so if I do that with the utility action, does that still let me bypass one of the locks?
Yes.
Okay, so I could do that, choose to bypass the utility lock, and then discard the physical chip that we have up here and be good to go.
Yep.
Okay,
And
so
the other option would be moving down to this on the burn cycle, but then you'd be out of actions.
Nope, don't want to do that. Yep. So we'll do that, and then I get a free move into the room here, and my awareness token will stay here. And then
Yes.
I get to roll the room die. Is that right?
So you have now entered an unsurveilled room.
I have now entered an unsurveilled room, so I'm going to get 2 power. So I'm going to get the 1 power back that I got, and then I get another power, and that's in this little yellow bag, right? Yep. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
And that's a crate, but it's a
That
locked
is great.
crate.
It is locked crate.
That's okay. And the crate access is the same thing as the utility that you would use to access the crate.
Exactly.
So
it's got a keypad on it.
It's got a keypad on it. Right, okay.
So it does, right? Yeah, they're high-tech crates. All right, so then I'll move down to the next action, the tech action, and I'll take a move action.
All right.
So I need to move at least 1, 2, 3. So I am going to move, I'm going to roll a yellow and an orange and another yellow just to make sure I get it, because I got a bad feeling I'm going to roll some blanks on this.
Yeah.
I did roll blanks, but that was pretty good.
With 2 spare movement.
So just out of curiosity, like if I needed to like run around in circles with my ability, when I roll the dice, I could change this blank to a 2 because I have a 2 on the other yellow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that
change the
correct,
result
Shannon?
of one rolled dice to match the result of another one. So you can change that to a 2.
So I could do that if I needed to, but I don't need to. But it's more than enough to get me where I want to go.
Yeah, but remember, spare movement.
Right, exactly. Spare movement can go for him, but the problem is the door is not open to the lobbies or to the hallway going to the warehouse.
No,
I
but we can still get him here.
I could, yeah. And if I remember right from watching the other tutorial video, Shannon, I can move transmitter over the site tokens. I just can't move them over the bot tokens, the bot chips, right?
Correct, yes.
Oh, so you can't go through allies.
Through each other. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Very, very too many Bones-ish.
Right, yeah.
And Cloudspire-ish. I don't know why. It's almost like they're the same designers. But so I started here. So I moved 1, 2, 3 onto the terminal. So I still have 4 movement. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 with transmitter. And then those are used.
The transmitter was last seen
there.
here, actually.
It's here.
Oh, yeah, because he's right
6.
there, so it's 3
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
you can
left
see
and
him.
the right.
You're right.
6 in a straight line. But that increases threat by 1? Yeah.
It does.
I thought it was 6 in a straight line from where they're facing.
Yeah, and then 3 in any other. Yeah.
Oh,
3 in
okay,
any other
right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so it's
I just
right
can't
there.
count.
Okay.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I
Just want to make sure I can count.
I thought it was 6 in the orthogonal directions, but it's not. It's 6 in the direction they're facing, and then 3 everywhere else.
Isn't this
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay. And then for my last action, while it's a physical chip, I'll take the tech action now, which is accessing the terminal. And to access the terminal, I'm going to draw a terminal card first, right? Okay. Flip that over. No security stuff.
No security again.
We're actually
Nice.
pretty lucky there. This was shuffled too. This was not like set up like that. So central air control, 3 AP. All stationary guard routes are now nearest terminal. Place alert markers at affected terminals. What does that mean?
So anyone who's got stationary,
So
which
this
is
one.
this guy, is going to move towards the closest terminal instead. So he would.
Gotcha. But that's not
duck in this
too
room.
impactful at this moment because he's really just kind of hanging out in that area there.
Well, he is, but we need to get to the elevators, and he can see all the way down this hallway. He can see 8. So
And he's going to move 3, so he's going to run right to that elevator door if he sees somebody down that hallway. So that might not be a bad idea. The file download is crazy. I could gain 4 power, and I'm sitting on 5 right now, so I could end up with 9 power. If I did that, and at the end of my turn I spend power, can I spend power on multiple things as long as I can afford it?
absolutely. So
Ooh.
if you can get 5 AP on your dice, that's an awesome option.
You know what? Go big
for
or
it.
go home, I'd say. Yeah.
With 2
That's what I'm
orange in
gonna
your
go
bonus,
for.
you should get it.
I think so, yes. But trust me, if there's a skill I don't have, it's rolling dice.
Dice rolling.
There
there
we
you
go.
go.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Overachiever.
I would have burst
Maximum
through a wall with
result
that. So I gained 4 more power. So
Yep.
gain these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, there we go. And then that's the end of my turn. But more importantly, we've accessed the terminal here, right?
Oh, we have. So we have
This goes
achieved our
away,
objective.
And we've achieved our objective. So I had a scary first turn, but I had a much better second turn.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, Scott, you're gonna actually have power wasted here because we all gain 3 power for completing the objective.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's fine.
So I'll just go to 10 as a max.
Yep. And
That's
then and then because you're over, you do need to now spend down until you're
Right.
not over 5.
So I will. I think I'm actually. You said I can. How much power do you have to spend to add the additional chips on the left side of your bot card?
2
Oh,
power
there it is.
each.
2.
Yep.
So okay. So for 2, I can do that.
Yep.
And then for 3, I can do my prime skill. Oh, if that wants to get in there. There we go. And then I could stop there and have 5, right?
You can. Yep.
I think that's good. I don't want to push too much, but I think that's a helpful start.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so end of
I think
the round.
I've got 11. Yeah, I've got 11 power. So
So the cap is 10.
So I actually just lose 1.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then at the start of my turn, I have to spend at least 2.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All
We're
right.
just too good this game. That's what it
We're
is.
too good.
Now comes the network pings.
Okay, guards are gonna move. This guy moves 2 equal distant between these 2 sites, so we can move him
I think stick it
here.
there.
Is
More
that where
like
we want
that.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bulldog can't see anything.
Nope, it's stationary.
This one moves to Bite's awareness,
Mm-hmm.
and then now that can't see anything,
And goes,
returns
where is he? Where is he?
perimeter out.
There's a door here. Where could he have gone? Or she. It Bites a she, right?
Bites a she, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
This
I'll
guard
just
is in a
return
room,
that
there's
to
nobody
you.
there.
Yep, so that is all the guards.
And then it's the pings.
And then it's the pings.
Oh,
So
here comes
we
the
have to move
fun.
them. We move that one first.
Moves to there. And then
That
what
hits
happens
an
with it?
access. So if
She
someone
rolls
wants
the
to roll
die.
this network die here. Okay,
So
that's
his
going to
signal strength
increase their
goes up.
signal strength.
Okay.
And then the rest of them are just going to move as far as they can.
As they can. Okay.
And
So it's going to keep activating this every round, rolling until it gets that,
that's simple.
and then it will
Yep.
move out.
Transfer.
Yeah.
Would
so
that
this one's
transfer all of them?
yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Right, because they're on the white lines. Oh dear.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Okay.
actually, this one's going to move here though. Like they're all going to shift a spot, and then that one will ping that.
Oh right. Okay.
Does that make sense? You
Yeah,
always
yeah.
move the one that like has the most space in front of it first.
Right. Okay. Now just remind me, what's this whole section here about again? What happens if we do nothing with it?
If we do
We
nothing with
lose.
it, the pings have a 1 in 3 shot of increasing your threat when they land on those.
Right,
and
yeah.
we can decrease our threat by landing on them. And then
Okay.
the other thing is that the more pings on the network, the more chance they'll eventually get out here and kick you off the network. And then they'll just have a run of the place and keep increasing
Right.
your threat.
Okay, so the reason why we lose if we don't do anything here is not because we get kicked out, but because
Right.
they run around and activate these, and that increases the threat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, right. Right.
Okay, so that was the network. And then we have the burn cycle. So the next chip in our burn cycle is going to flip.
Yeah.
So now
can
might be a
swap.
good time to reset the burn cycle if we wanted to, because we completed the objective.
Yep.
Right?
Disadvantage of resetting is...
Threat goes up by 4.
Okay.
And the advantage, I mean, we don't have to yet. We could
We'll still get
swap,
2 actions.
we could swap these out of our reserve.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
We're just depleting what we'll have for keypads.
It's the movement that we're missing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the good thing is you have the ability, Paul, to treat something as a movement if you needed to move really fast.
Oh.
We've accessed the
Yeah.
three things we needed for the DDoS attack. So from here, is it just going around and collecting power to upgrade and then getting to the safe zone when we feel we're comfortable, or should we be making a mad dash for the safe zones?
I mean, that's the balance of this game,
Yeah.
right? We can, there's crates.
Look
all
at all
around the
those
place.
warehouse things. They're so
Um,
pretty.
Loot.
The longer we hang out here, the less time we give ourselves for the next 2 floors. So.
Yeah. No, I'd be
Okay.
happy just rushing. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. I'd be happy
Mm-hmm.
if we got to floor 2 and maybe just saw floor 2.
Sure.
But I would also like to dabble a bit with this and see this part of the game just in action. So
Sure.
All right, sounds good. So do we want to refresh our burn cycle or no?
I think reset the burn cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, let's go for it. So we'll toss all
threat
this
goes
out.
up to 9. Monitor protocol kicks in, and we remove burn cycle slot 1. And level 1 doors are now level 2.
Okay.
That sucks.
Um,
Whose idea was this?
Transmitters.
all right, so I'm contributing a tech and a utility. Transmitter, you were 2 tech and a utility, is that right? Or sorry, 2 tech.
Just 2 tech for me, yeah.
And then Bite, you're doing
I'm doing 2 utility and 1 physical.
physical, 2 utility. Now we also get to look at the rooms that we're standing in.
Mm-hmm.
We're all standing in this room, so that's got a physical and a utility contribution on it.
Oh, right, that's what those icons are.
Yep, and then I have a
And
tech
then
on mine.
You've got a tech on yours.
So if you are in a room, when you reset the burn cycle, you get those on there.
Yes.
Right, okay.
All right. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's handy.
There we go.
Actually, we had to skip the first one because of our thing
Yeah,
over here. So it'll be
remove
like
burn
that.
cycle slot 1.
And then we've got lots of options for our reserve. So
And
we'll
we
probably
keep-
want to get like one of each at least,
Yeah.
and then we can choose what else we want.
I think 1 of each, and maybe, I don't know, maybe another movement.
We don't have a spare
We don't have another
movement.
Oh, we don't. Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
right,
a spare utility.
2 utility is good. Yep.
All right. So that's our reserve. And now first player passes over to
Okay.
processor.
Me.
Now things get crazy.
So at the start of my turn, I have to spend 2 power. I'm just looking at my skills.
Yes.
Um,
So other things you can spend on, our command module also has skills that help the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
party.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We can unlock our 5th burn cycle slot as well over here.
may pay
And you
power
can,
to
of
reduce.
course,
Oh, 2 power for 1 throw.
upgrade dice to advanced and elite.
Yeah, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend 2 of them to have an upgrade dice.
Perfect.
Okay, so I need an orange. And
Remind
8
me again,
yellow.
Shannon. How do you get the red dice?
2 power and an orange die.
Got it.
So essentially 4 power.
And where do you mark that you've got that then?
Well, these are outdated. So you
Oh,
can
right,
mark it
okay.
however you'd like.
However
there
you
should
want.
be there should be a third box here.
There will be a third
down
box.
below here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. So, yeah, we're up. So that
Okay,
flips
so
over.
You're gonna leave it at that.
I'm no longer hidden. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, perfect.
Unless there's any suggestions, if you know the character.
No, I
I
mean
was-
the only danger with staying up so high is what we just saw before.
Oh, of
if
course.
If you gain
Yeah.
power above 10, then it's lost. So
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll buy another upgrade then.
all right.
So that goes there. Need to put those back and get another orange one. 6 yellow, 2 orange. We're good. Right. So my first action is going to be the move.
Okay.
So I'm going to get +2 on this. Now, what other actions do I actually want to do? Is the door open? The door's not open,
Door's
is it?
not open.
Door's
Oh, I
not
thought the
open,
door was
and,
open.
And I'm standing in front of it. So if you want to leave right now, you've got to go through the.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes. For some reason, I thought the door was open. So.
Or you could dawdle your turn on the network and wait until I open the door. But this guard is coming
Right.
after you.
Tell me how we get rid of this guard then. 10 APs, was it?
Yeah, if you're adjacent to it, you could roll 10 AP to just get rid of it.
And you don't get any bonuses on that for anything? It's not a particular type of action?
Nope. Combat in this game is really like last case. It's not the.
Yeah, the chance of me getting 10 with this, unlikely, I think. I'm just looking at what's on these dice. Yeah, so I'm probably going to get, I don't know, 6 or so with that. Okay, so I think I'll just move. I've got 2 free movement points, effectively, so I only really need 1. So I'll roll an orange, just to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got a spare movement point, which I can move with transmitter if I want to, but I don't think we do. So I move to here. Now, that last saw me... Oh no, 1, 2, 3. You can still see me there.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my first action. My second action is this one, which just happens to be the one that I need for opening the door. So I have to spend 2 AP.
Yep.
So that will be... let me do an orange and a yellow. Or do I want to do 2 yellow? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use 2 yellow.
Decisions.
So we'll give them a roll.
Oh,
Just.
Good thing you
Okay.
did.
good call.
So I got the 2. That
Yeah,
means
so
let's
that-
have a look at this.
Blank.
Okay, now because I'm on the right action, I can ignore one of those.
You can. So that first icon there, though, is
The shock.
actually, sorry, we're looking at tier 2 now, are we not?
Oh, we are.
Ooh,
Because of
Like,
that.
tier 2.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you've
it's a
got-
level 2 door.
You've got attack, and then you've got to roll this die to see what the other icon is.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
we'll roll this one.
All right, so you've got attack and a utility.
Right.
So
And I can bypass one of those.
you
And
can
we've got
bypass.
a tech here.
Yep.
So we can bypass the tech and give up the utility because we have the extra chips.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Makes
There
sense.
we go. Right, so that door is open.
Indeed.
And then my third action is this one, which
And
I am
then,
going to...
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I get a free movement.
Optional movement if you'd like it.
I will. Now that goes... Ah, no,
Yep,
it stays with me because of this.
Yeah, that guy can see you.
Yeah. Okay. Run away. Right. So yeah, I'm going to make this a movement because of my special ability.
Okay.
And I'm just going to roll all the rest of my dice. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can go 1, 2. That stays behind there. 3, 4, 5. And I can get it there.
Look at you.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Now, I don't remove my chip from the board. I'm in the elevator. So does that
Correct.
mean other people cannot use this space?
Correct.
So we
now
all have to get onto a safe zone at the same time. Right.
We've all got to go into this one now.
But you're
Yeah.
at least in an area where the guards are not going to get to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Now, Bulldog has a awareness of 8, so he can see that sight token all the way at the end of that hallway, right?
And we'll move 3.
Yep.
Yep.
Fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
So-
Scott, it's your turn.
I'm up. I am going to use the move action and roll no dice, so I get 2 move just for doing that, right?
I've just
Yep.
noticed the chat. Yeah, I should have kept my misses, but I was out of actions anyway. I don't think there was anything else I could have done.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
I think I'm good.
I'm going to use the move action and use my 2 free move to move to where I am here. Then on the next action on the utility, I'm going to use that to open a crate. So this is just like accessing doors. You have to roll 2 AP, and then we're going to get whatever's inside the crate, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So just to make absolutely sure, I'm going to roll an orange and a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
4. Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. So, how does the crate work now?
So throw a keypad card on it, just like it's a door.
Just like it's a door.
But it's not a door, so it's
Oh,
still a level 1.
I just put it in the
you
crate.
put it in the crate.
Hold on, I'll go get it.
Gotta love Tabletop Simulator.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, so flip that over. So we're on level 2 for crates and doors. So
I think it's just
This is it.
doors.
oh, is it just doors?
It says just doors.
It does say level 1 doors are level 2. So now
Yeah.
does that mean the crate's just the physical? So,
So you can
and
ignore
because
the
I'm on the
first icon.
utility action, I can ignore it, so it's unlocked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay!
Now you can look
Yay.
inside the crate.
So I'm gonna open it up, and there is a little die that has some crazy symbols on it with a hammer.
All
What is
right.
that thing? This is awesome.
So-
This is like Christmas. I got a whole new present.
Yeah.
This is equipment. The 9 on the top left tells you to grab the number 9 equipment card. So
Okay.
we'll just flip this and find that for you. There you go. You have a triggered hammer.
Nice. You may include this die when making an engage action AP roll to grant additional AP. Red numbers roll reduce your durability by that amount. Wow. So I could roll that die to try and break through a wall, and that's a 10 if I roll that face.
You bet.
But the
Now-
red numbers reduces my durability, meaning my health points would go down by
Yes.
3.
And then there are on 3 of the sides this lightning bolt.
Uh-huh.
So the white outlined one, if you choose to, you can choose whether or not you use the die after you've rolled it. If you use it, then the equipment's broken.
Okay.
And then on the red lightning bolt is you have to use the
Have to.
result and it's broken.
That makes sense.
So
It's a
how
little
does
bit
this?
like-
How does the crate thing work in the physical game then? Because obviously in Tabletop Simulator you've drawn a random crate from the big crate bag and inside was a random dice. But how would it work in the physical game?
Right now, what we're going with is it'll be a chip.
Right.
And once you've opened it, you'll draw an equipment card and then find the die that matches
And
that.
then you'll find the dice. Right, gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're not going to get fully molded 3D crates that have the ability to unlatch and unlock and put things in them. God, what kind of company?
Yeah, I was expecting a real wooden crate with a real keypad on the side, but you know.
Exactly.
We're still looking at options. What we have in here was our original concept. It was
Right.
literally little flexible PVC crates. The problem with it is it's really fiddly. At the beginning of the game, you've got to take every equipment in the game and put it under a crate and then mix them up.
Yeah, way easier to just shuffle chips
and
up
then
and put them out.
we realized that in this game, like, we might want to expand equipment, and if we get up to like 30 equipment, that's just way too much to be throwing under all these little crates.
Yeah.
So,
And you guys seem to do pretty good with chips, so that seems like
yeah. So we
Okay.
like the 3D aspect of the crates, but I don't think it's going to work the way we wanted it to.
No.
Okay, so now for my last action, I am going to take another utility action to open this door.
Okay.
Just so I know, dumb question, but what is the orange symbol on this space right here?
That's a good question. It has to do with some objectives.
Okay.
Some objectives will thematically tell you what that is, and then build an objective around it.
So like an interactive object or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well then I will take a utility action to unlock the door, and I need to get 2. This is going to be my last action, so there's no point to not roll all my dice, right? I mean, there's nothing else I'm going to need to do, right?
Correct.
She said with a little malicious laugh.
Well, I think you're going to get hit by the hamster.
You think?
Or did you say you were moving?
No. I'm
Oh, sorry, no.
utility to unlock
I'm
the door.
getting I'm getting you mixed up.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to unlock the door, so I will do these, roll that. Woohoo! I got way more than 2 AP, of course. So that's going to unlock. I need to get a card, if I can flip it over here. There we go. And that is a ping, is that right?
That's a ping. We get to add a ping to our network. So I'll go and do
that starts on the orange.
Yep.
But that's not too bad. So, and now we get a little green token, and this is unlocked.
And a free move out if you'd like it.
I do get a free movement out. Now, Bulldog is going to go to here.
Yep.
So that's not a bad idea to take a free movement to come out there. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now, my ability is open. It says when entering a room, treat the space adjacent to the door like a hidden space until you move off of it. But I entered a hallway, so that doesn't matter, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Got it. Words matter. All right. I think that's it.
Okay, it is my turn, and I have to do a power spend myself. I think I'm going to grab myself a red die, so I'm going to spend effectively 4 power.
So 2 power to get an orange die, and then another 2 power to convert it into a red die. Yeah.
Correct.
That's cool.
All right, so I should be down to 7 dice altogether, and I'm just gonna.
What's that fancy little recycle symbol on the
It's
die?
like a reroll.
Yeah.
That is a reroll indeed. So if I roll that side, then I can reroll any of the dice I rolled in that.
Oh, any of the
in that
dice.
roll.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, so I need to get through this door. So I need to do a utility action. I think it's gonna, oh, you're right in my way, Scott.
I'm good at that. Yeah.
It's fine. I think I'm gonna do utility here, so I won't get the bonus, and we'll just hope for good luck.
You don't just want to move and come through the lobby? Oh no, because then you've got to get around here.
Yeah, I need.
Go for the warehouse.
2 AP.
Look at all this treasure.
So I'll roll these. Okay, I got 3, so I'm good. And this door. Actually, I could have just run around here.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, well,
Never
too late
mind.
now.
That's all right.
Oh, look at that.
Look,
Oh, wow.
It's a free pass.
Didn't even know that was a thing. That's
All
awesome.
right. So door's unlocked. I get to move out for free.
There is actually that's like a hug right there. That's like a door just hugged you and said, "I love you so much. Come into the hallway."
So the hamster actually sees me go through the door, so my thing's going to transfer with me.
Oh no!
And
Now, if you
then
move though, it's going to stay there because he can't see that one space up, right?
Correct. Yep. Next is going to be a movement, and then okay. So I'm going to save. Save my red die for the keypad to try and open that elevator. No, I'm just gonna roll all of it for movement.
So Mark in the chat is saying that Bulldog will see him from there because of the half sight.
From
But
no, Bulldog can't see anybody.
No,
right now.
Because it's 4
Bulldog,
in any
Yeah, Bulldog will see us when we get a little closer.
in this line. Yeah.
That's fine. So I rolled 3. I rolled a bunch, and I get a free reroll. I might as well use it. Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
Oops.
Well, we'll just use that as my new result.
I think you pressed F, didn't you, rather than R? It didn't look like they rolled.
It just shifted them all. So
yeah.
I'll just keep that. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7.
I support this decision.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now your token, since Bulldog sees you now and Hamster saw you exit the lobby door, where does your token? Do you get multiple tokens, or how does?
No, it's just here.
It always just moves to the next newest thing that sees you.
Got it.
So Bulldog seeing me overwrites Hamster.
Got it. At this point, you're completely out of Hamster's mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, willing to take the Bulldog hit.
Man, look at that! What a trooper.
All right, that's my turn, and that is end of round.
Shannon, is your health the 5 power in your AP, or is it the 7 in the combined?
It's the 5.
5.
It's the 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so guards are gonna move. Bulldog here is gonna beeline for me and damage me.
So you lose a power.
I lose a power.
Hamster moves 2. Now.
Yep.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can choose which way it goes.
So you actually can't see this one.
Right.
That's Bulldog one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it moves to there.
One. And then this guy is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's noise in that elevator. Maybe I should check it out. No.
Oh. I'm just playing the bossa nova music.
And then our network pings are gonna go because they can't move at all. We're just gonna roll the die for this access point. So
here we go.
Roll that.
Ooh,
and their signal strength goes up.
Uh-oh.
That's what happens there.
That's a very tense kind of thing here, even though it's a very small thing.
Yeah.
We lock out our bottom chip on our burn cycle. We're down to 2 actions unless we swap that out, which we probably could, should, will do.
Do we need to choose that now, or when do we choose that?
We can choose it now, but you can also do it on your turn as long as you're not in the middle of an action.
Okay.
So we can wait until someone needs a third turn, third action, and then swap it out then.
Okay.
All right, so that's end of round, and it's your turn again, Paul.
Okay, so I'm going to do the wireless.
So you can't
access.
do that from an elevator.
Oh, now you tell me.
That's the downside of being in an elevator. You can move transmitter a bit, but other than that, you're going to be pretty.
I lose my cell signal when I go in an elevator, so.
Well, no, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to move then, because that's the thing that I was going to do.
Sorry, I thought that I had mentioned that, but
you probably did.
I mean, the good thing is the door to control is open, so if you
I can just run in there.
Yeah, just make a mad dash around the.
Okay, so I'm going to roll. That's going to be a 1. That's going to be a 1, and I'm going to get an extra 2. So that's probably going to be enough. So we'll move.
I love the artwork design of the guards. They're so unique and
1, 2.
They're part comical
3,
and part dystopian and all cool.
Now, where does this go now?
That's going to go right here. That's the last spot he saw you.
Yeah. Okay. So I've moved 1, 2. I've moved 4. I had 7, so I've got 3 more movement.
Mm.
Move our transmitter friend.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 1 movement left, but I won't do anything with that one.
Sorry, but your sight token should have come into play when Bulldog moved, because you are in his sight now.
Oh,
Yes.
is he in his sight? Oh, it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't when Bulldog was here.
Right, but he moved up.
But it is
3,
now.
1, and 1 over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an extra threat.
Yep. So we're up
Okay.
to 10.
Right.
11 means we get new imperatives. So.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to do the wireless access thing. So here we go. The part of the game we've not seen yet. I have to discard or exhaust 2 dice,
Yep.
and then I just flip it over.
Yep.
Okay. Place an active ping on a node adjacent to one of your IP tokens.
Ooh.
All right. So none of us are actually on the network yet, so that's not going to do anything.
Yay!
Oh, thank goodness. I was like, oh my God, they're going to be right next to us.
All
Right.
right. And then with that same action, you're
Yes.
going to move yourself to the first utility on your line. There
Okay.
you go. All right.
And is that action done?
That's that action. Now, if you
Okay.
wanted to,
Yeah,
if
we're
we
going to have
swapped
to.
this out
Yeah.
for a physical or utility, then you'll hit this access point.
So, which one do we want? What do other people want?
Go physical, because that's going to give us more movement, which is kind of what we need.
Okay, so now I go there, and now I just roll dice.
So no dice. You're going to move
already
yourself
on
on the
the
network.
Yeah.
Up to that
To
point.
the closest either movement or access point. So you'll go there.
And it's always clockwise, right, Shannon?
Oh,
Exactly. Yep.
so if I'd have chosen this one,
You only would have moved.
I
Then
would have
you don't
stopped
have
here. Whereas if I'd have chosen the shield, I would have stopped here anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You've
Okay.
got it.
And now I've gone there.
And now you've got a
I-
choice. So you
Ooh.
don't have to roll the die. You get open choice. You can decrease that by 1. You can increase your signal strength by 1. Or you could transfer one of us, but neither of us are transferable right now.
I like the idea of lowering threat.
Yeah, because I mean the signal strength it's a little
not
bit
gonna
out of touch.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Drop the threat down by
Alright,
1.
I think that's very useful.
And I mean I've got 3 dice left, but I can't do anything with those 3 dice. So because we've no actions
Alright.
left.
Correct. So we're
Yeah.
good.
So I possibly should have spent some power to give us 5. Yeah, I can see how this is all
Coming
meshing
together.
into. Yeah. It's interesting. The number of actions you get, the tokens that are on there, all of this you can manipulate. It's just by spending the power at the right time in the right place. Yeah.
Yep. Some wireless access cards do use dice as well. They'll
Okay.
require an AP check. So
Okay.
it wasn't dumb to have AP going into that
Right.
check.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so are we trying to make a mad dash for the elevator right now?
I think that's got to be our plan.
Okay, so
Yeah, I got there too early.
really in a position where I can only do that by going around to this side, right? Because
Yes, I'm in your way.
yep. All right, so my first action then, I am going to do that. I'm going to move. Well, actually, I have to roll dice because I'm going to get 2 automatically, so I'm going to need 2 more. I'm actually going to roll. What are the sides of the orange again? It's 1, 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, 3 1s, 2 2s, and a 3.
All right, well, then I will roll an orange and a yellow just to make sure I get what I want.
Okay.
Oh! Okay. Well, the good thing is with my
Okay.
ability, I can change this to
To a 1.
Yeah,
a
you're
1.
good.
So I can do that and get
Yeah.
2. So now I can move 4. So I will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my sight token is going to stay. We'll see. 1, 2, 3. It's going to stay there, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Then as the next action, I can do the utility to interact and unlock the door. So I am going to need to roll at least 2 again. I will roll. Let me move this off to the side. I will do an orange and 2 yellows just to make sure. And okay, good with
Yep.
that. So get a little keypad thing out. Oh, and that means I have to roll the dice to see what those two icons are. Is that right?
Mhm.
And I do it once for each one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is tech. Second one is physical. Yuck. Okay. Now I can bypass one because I'm on the utility action.
Yep.
So I can just discard
We have
the
a tech.
chip there, and
Yep.
the door will be unlocked. Yay! It's like I know
Actually,
what I'm
what
doing.
might be better instead of discarding the tech
Mhm.
is just moving down to the physical on the burn cycle.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh yeah, I remember.
You're gonna get a free movement into the elevator.
Sure. Yeah, that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
remember you said you could do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oops.
Oh, wait, there goes Tabletop Simulator again.
There we go.
Okay, so I'll do that, and I get the free movement in from my unlocking
Free
the
move.
door. Yep,
Yeah.
and
Um,
we'll take the action because I moved down the burn cycle to unlock that piece of the card.
Yeah, just realised that I forgot to do something at the end of my turn, was turn into a trash can. So I'll just take you back to that. There you go.
Nice.
It's an Xbox. You turn into an Xbox.
Yes.
There you go. Nobody can find the new Xbox anyway, so that's kind of fitting.
There you go.
All right,
Alright.
that's it for my turn.
My turn. I'm gonna use this physical for a utility to try and open this door.
You would think that the bot inside the elevator would just push the button and open it for you.
I mean,
You'd think. Yeah.
That would be the polite thing to do. All right, so I'm gonna roll. These 3 dice should almost guarantee it. Let's see. Yeah, so we're good.
There's
My
the 4.
keypad is.
Ooh, shock.
Ooh, okay, shock. So I lose another power.
Oof.
And there's no way to avoid that other than having the avoidance of being on a utility action.
You actually can't avoid shocks at all.
Oh,
so-
you
Oh
can.
right.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then I got a utility for the die roll. So I'm going to. Yeah, all I'm going to need is
move down.
movement after this. So I'll move down to clear that card.
I'm
Open
amazed
the
at
door.
the layering of the different types of action selections, like what you just did there, of having the choice of discarding the utility chip from a reserve or moving down the burn cycle.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that those are as deeply strategic as they are, but yet they are not complex in order for your brain to process what's the right thing for me to do at this moment. I think that's awesome.
When you explained at the start about skipping an action in order to make a symbol, that didn't click. That I didn't take that in at all. And then when we saw it happening, I was like, "Oh, right, now I see why that's useful." It's yeah.
All right, so I just did a movement there. Yeah, I love the idea of your actions themselves being a resource that you can spend.
Yeah.
Like I love that idea. So the 3 of us are in an elevator, so we're just gonna take off without you,
Where's the
Paul.
trash
Abandon
can?
your bot entirely. You're cool with that, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I guess we can give you one more round to get into
Well, it's
the
interesting
elevator.
because what
I mean, no
what-
reason not to, other than the potential of the ping on the networks, right?
Yeah, like if we were in a spot where we were gonna like have to refresh our burn cycle and take a big threat jump, that may be a time when, or if he was just so far gone that it was gonna take forever to get to an elevator,
Right.
that's
Right.
when you might abandon.
Okay. So
We won't abandon you, though.
yeah, so if this was a proper game now, we would stick around another round to get me into the elevator.
Yep, and then we would go to floor 2.
Yeah. Okay. So what would happen in that next round? None of you would do really any actions. Oh, I guess you could come out, do the network thing, and then go back in.
We could if we wanted to do that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's 5 to 5. So it's I mean, we'll do the bot movement,
Sure.
which would be what? That would move to there,
Yep. So he would move to there, and then
and that
he would
would come
just,
off the board. Oh, those 2 would come off the board.
those 2 come off, and then he can also see this, so he would continue his movement to there,
Right. So that
Do
would come off the
that.
board as well.
and then this guy is gonna do there, and then
would
his
he go
circuit again.
there because he has 3 movement and he started here, so
Oh,
wouldn't
sorry.
he would stop there, right?
Well,
right.
he
Okay.
started here, so yeah, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
and then this would still, whichever
Okay.
one it
Still
comes off
count.
would still be on.
That's still there.
This guy, what's interesting is because you guys kept alerting this guy here,
Yeah.
he stayed here instead of coming all the way down the hall. So like
Yeah.
normally that guy would be all over the place, but the way that Paul
You kinda
handled
kited
him
him a little
kept him in that corner.
Oh yeah, totally deliberate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we didn't do, which I meant to introduce, but we were kind of already going, and it does kind of add a little bit of a spin on it, is the guard captain over here, Crucible.
Ooh.
So at the beginning of every game, you're going to randomly choose a guard captain, and that kind of dictates how the guards act, and throws a little wrench in your works, and then that guard captain's the guy you're going to see on floor 3.
Oof.
Right. Okay.
So floor 1, this is why we had 2 guards. What we didn't do, and what I meant to do, was this burn cycle action add to bag. So what we should have done actually is every time we reset our burn cycle, his chip should have been going into our bag. And then if it came out into our burn cycle, when we come across it on our burn cycle, that would have triggered all guards taking a turn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And
sorry,
how many different
here.
guard generals are there in the game?
There right now are 4.
Wow.
I think we might have 5 unlocked now. We're unlocking more as stretch goals.
Okay.
That's
And are
awesome.
these generals chosen at random? Are they associated with the scenario that we're playing?
No, they're chosen at random, which is
Right.
sort of another way that you can
That's cool.
randomize things. And then there is actually a campaign game which you can play to string multiple corporations together. And then if you came across the same security detail on a different corporation, then there's actually going to be another side to Crucible that's even harder.
Right.
Because you get smarter if you've already seen them. So if you see
Which
them a
makes
second
sense.
time, it gets harder.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of questions for me. So the layout of this board here, this is fixed for level 1 of the need chain. There's no variability in this. But I mean, how many times have you played this particular scenario now?
A lot.
Okay.
Over 10.
And how is the variability? Is it down to just the choices that people make, the actions that they take?
Yeah, the variability really comes with the objectives, right? Because
Right.
depending on what you're trying to do, that completely changes what you do in here. Some of the
Right.
objectives have to do with the network, so you might do very little in the
Okay.
building. If an objective is telling you to go to terminals, that's what we have to do. If an objective is telling you to do stuff with guards,
Yeah.
then
So
that
this
completely
Yeah, like
changes
if we had
what
chosen
you
the
do
other
within
one,
the
we would've
building.
the other one was
Completely.
enter the security room of all guards, which was
Yeah.
here. So we would have had to do something completely different. Right. Okay. So it's the objective that makes it different.
And
So
that
the
could
guard-
have been much different because then we would have had Hamster to deal with in the lobby.
Exactly.
Plus
Exactly.
the other guard that's in the Hamster in the security room.
Yeah.
We
and
are
some of the guards were fixed. So for this particular need chain level 1, it's always Walker there, Bulldog here.
It wasn't necessarily those guards. It was
Oh,
two
right.
tier one guards, but
So
there's
you'd draw
3
them.
different types, and we drew them. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Okay.
cool.
So that's at random. And then you've
Yeah.
got obviously the dice in the rooms. So if we were to go into the warehouse and roll this, there would be a chest. There'd be another chest, but the terminal would disappear.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. So yeah. So there's quite a lot of variability.
There's a massive
exactly.
amount
Like-
of variability. Yeah.
Just think about how much just the fact that we rolled Hamster in this room changed our entire play. If there hadn't
Yeah.
been a guard in there,
Right,
we would have
yeah.
played this entirely differently.
We could
Yeah.
have had a super terminal show up and it would have been
Yeah.
different. I think that's one of the other interesting things. We could completely reset this board, play the exact same thing again, and have a completely different result.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we're
that's
not-
just by using the fixed layout. I mean, the way I understand it is each of these rooms are their own little neoprene mats on top of the bigger
Yes.
neoprene mat. So we could get as customizable as we want to. Like, while you're talking about there's the campaign mode, if we wanted to just throw down a crazy design of rooms or create our own kind of campaign type things. if we wanted to.
100%. We're really hoping this is
Yeah.
a game where like the audience wants to make their own like scenarios and rooms.
Mhm.
We're not opposed to like we're going to consider the idea of some variable layouts.
Sure.
But right now we're not feeling like it needs it. We're going to play
don't
around
think
with
so.
it some more.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to create all those different maps if it doesn't increase the variability, and then if it if we use every combination of rooms in the base game, then that also limits our ability to expand in the future. So
I have to tell you, so I play a lot of tactics games. I love tactics games, like any kind of like, Fire Emblem, XCOM kind of stuff. I love those tactical games. And this obviously has that feel of, Metal Gear Solid a little bit, with a little bit of the theming and everything like that. I have to admit that for the most part, most of those games seem and feel as though they blend together a little bit, but this feels completely unique. I honestly, I was very worried going into this gameplay, because I was very much like Paul. I didn't know very much. I had watched one video to kind of get my bearings on things. And I was a little concerned about, okay, is this just going to be another tactics game? But it's funny, because while the actions and everything happens on this main mat in this main area with all the rooms, to me, the game and the fun of the gameplay mechanics actually happens on this network board between the network itself and the burncycle chain. And it's something so silly, but it's like, if someone said to me, hey, I've got this great game that is going to provide all this variability with just a stack of anywhere between 3 to 5 chips, I would be like, yeah, right, whatever. That's not going to happen. But that's what this does. And I'm really, really happy that we had the chance to do this, because this really was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect, apart from based on, Hoplomachus, Too Many Bones, and Cloudspire. I was expecting something to be quite different, which it was. I didn't know, is it just going to be Cloudspire with a bit of a tweak, or is it going to be Too Many Bones with a bit of a tweak? Yeah, I didn't think it was just from watching a couple of videos, but yeah, it's got the DNA of something from Chip Theory Games, which sounds silly because it is a Chip Theory Games game, but it's got all of that. Wow, this is different. This is different. This is new. This is quite clever. All put together in a nice package. And
I know that you can't market it like this, but as a fan of Netrunner, a longtime fan of Netrunner, like if this could have somehow been Netrunner the board game, like it feels like that, right? Which is just awesome, and I love that part of it.
It's got a very similar theme.
Which is very cool. Well, but a unique theme too, right? Like I kind of giggled a little bit when you gave the introduction of, humanity passed away, and then bots recreated humanity, and then we're jerks, and it's like, oh yeah, that's all factual stuff.
That's what's going to happen. We brought them back to give them a second chance. They messed it up again. It's like,
No, I think it's
story is a huge part of what we do. At CGG, we want a good wealth of lore behind our games.
Yeah.
So even if you're not interested in this game, you can go to our Kickstarter page, check out the trailer video has a really fun story. Yeah. All of our updates are continuing a story about the bots. So if you're just kind of interested in the theme and maybe not the game, that's all stuff you can check out too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, it is a great setting. How many bots are currently available?
Right now, the base game has 8, and there's an expansion with 4.
Right. And transmitter is always the same?
No, so all of in the final game, every single bot will be usable as your control module.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that's another variability.
100%.
Yeah.
And then we're unlocking more bots as stretch goals too. So
that's awesome.
we don't do Kickstarter exclusives, but we do stretch goals. So if you're not sure whether to pick it up now or later, the more people that back us on Kickstarter, the more stuff's going to be in the game for everybody.
Got to get a talk spot in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And you said that there'll be a physical copy of this game on my doorstep at Christmas Day, something like that. You said
Christmas Day.
Yeah,
man,
what ambitious.
I didn't ask for anything, Shannon. I was nice.
Yeah, we didn't say which Christmas Day, so yeah.
I definitely though would love to come back and play with you guys, whether it's TTS or the real thing. Once I'd love to play a full game with you guys.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Floor
yeah,
two
like there's a lot of
this,
things
but with the kicked up difficulty.
Yep.
And then floor 3, you get like a unique objective that you have to. It's kind of a tiered objective. You've got to do these 3 things and then get into the CEO's office to complete it. And then you've got Crucible over here being a jerk up on that floor too.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, I'm happy that we just did floor 1 as a kind of throwaway learning game. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in playing more of this if we can agree a time. A few people have been asking me, is the tabletop simulator mod going to be available to people during the campaign?
it's not.
Right.
At this moment, the game and the rules are just changing too fast for us to support people playing this game on TTS.
Yeah. I can appreciate that. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but as somebody who has been involved in 2 other projects in the last 3 months where they did make the tabletop simulator mod available to the public, the amount of effort that I had to go to write the rule book for people to basically play from the rule book over TTS, and they were finished games. They were games that weren't in development. And as I say, every day you're probably sitting there at CTG headquarters going, well, let's just change this a little bit, and let's just change this a little bit. So, yeah.
So I totally empathize with people. I understand people want to get their hands on it for themselves, and it looks like that's possible. But it's not really at this time. So if we get it to a point in the future where we can open it up to people, we'll definitely consider it. But the other thing with our games is, like, you really got to experience them in person. TTS does not do our games and our components justice.
No,
that's one of my favorite things about your games is they're very tactile. Right?
Which is why Ricky Royal, we mentioned earlier on, doesn't really want to use TTS. I mean, I've learned to accept it because, to be honest, without it, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did today. So for me, I had great fun playing this, and this was a perfectly functional tool. Would this be better with the physical components? Absolutely. And even if it weren't for the coronavirus situation, we live quite far apart. So
right.
It's not like I can just pop round for the afternoon and play it. But
but like we proved when we did the Cloudspire playthrough a couple of weeks ago, Paul. You can be in the UK and I can be in the middle of the United States, and we can still play a game that's this big and has this much option.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott. Let's make an agreement now. When we both get a physical copy of this game, we'll arrange a playthrough.
There you go. I'm down.
There you go.
That'd be great.
Whenever that will be, but there'll be a video coming to my channel with me and Scott playing through it. So
there you go.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Shannon. This was amazing.
Oh, thank you guys so much for coming on and playing with me.
No, thank you for your time. Both of you. And I will say goodbye to you now, and then I'll say goodbye to everybody on camera. So thank you, Scott. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
And thank you very much, Shannon. I'll speak to you soon. Right. They're done. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you of how it plays. We only did floor 1. We didn't see floor 2. We didn't see floor 3. We didn't see the boss at the end. But yeah, you got an idea of how the core mechanics worked. And yeah, this video was I went into this not really knowing much about the game. I knew the theme of the game, but I didn't really know much about anything else. And yeah, the action selection system and the way that you choose the actions and everything, that was quite fascinating. There's definitely a lot of depth to this that I would, next time I play this, I'll be like, okay, now I have an idea of what I'm going to do. And obviously you've got your own character with the amount of powers. Yeah, they said this game was simpler than their other games, and I think it probably is, but it's certainly got quite a lot of decision points in it. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody for watching. Other videos are available. If you want to watch more videos, I know Jonathan, who's in the chat, the Hexy Beast, he did a video. Ricky Royal is going to be doing a video with the physical components if you want to see that. All of that content will be coming, some of it's out already. Ricky's content, I don't know when that'll be coming. He's probably filming it today. I'll check with him later on. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to disappear now. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters for helping fund the channel. And I'll see you all later on. Take care, everybody. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.